This is a video response to a Getting to Know You tag from Martina Hapertova. Can you believe that I get so chatty that I have to upload all my answers in separate videos? Well, what you don't see here is that right before recording this, I bumped into Mrs. Wilkins. That's my antique dress form sitting beside my chair. Her hat falls off, so I take it and I put it on my head, but when I take it off, it messes up my hair. I did not notice that until I edit the video, but I decided not to edit out the messed up hair. I just leave it. Enjoy Tag Chat, Part 1. Hi there, I'm Mary Abrams at The.Meri.Atelier, and I've been tagged by Martina. And Martina, I cannot pronounce your last name. I'm just going to call you Martina H, if that's okay. And there are these tag videos that are going around YouTube of wanting to get to know you better and your craft better. So I'm Mary Abrams. I go by Mary. My first name is Mary Dell. It's spelled a little bit different, M-E-R-I-D-E-L. If you want to know the history of that name, my mother said that she named me out of a magazine when she was in the hospital with me, and when I asked her what the story was about, she couldn't remember, and I asked her how it ended, and she said it was a two-part story, that she didn't know the ending. So I took that as, okay, I'll write my own ending, and I'm still writing that story. So I'll just jump right into these questions. The first one is, what is the most expensive tool you use on a regular basis? And hands down, it has to be my phone, the internet, and the computer. I do own a Pazzles, P-A-Z-Z-L-E-S, cutting tool, a die cutting machine, but it's stored away. So I do not use it on a regular basis. I went through a move and a lot of my art supplies are still in storage, to be honest with you. So if you want to get to something that I use on a regular basis, I would have to say, as far as crafting tools, it would have to be my big set of Faber-Castell Biggie Faber-Castell markers. I think there are 48 markers in there, 48 Biggie markers, and I just love those. I enjoy Faber-Castell. I use them all the time. They're my go-to marker. But the larger set of 48 colors is a little bit more expensive. I got mine at Dick Blick, and I applied one of their discounts. The least expensive tool, well, hands down, it has to be anything free. Specifically junk mail that comes into the house, old credit cards that you use to spread out glue or gesso. I love to thrift. I'll always look in the free box when I go to garage sales. So least expensive is anything free. Books, old books. Books that are being given away. Magazines, I'll go to the library and pick up free magazines. The oldest item you made that you still have, or that you know someone still has. And the honest answer to that would be a drawing from, I was probably about 8 or 9 years old. Now this is something, I think that I did art before then, but I still have this drawing. It was a summer afternoon and I was bored. Mom, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? And she said, go draw a picture. And I don't know how to draw. I don't know how. Come show me. And so she actually sat down with me, and we lived in the country, and she drew a picture of a barn and cows around the barn, and we were both looking at that. She was actually spending time with me, and I watched her draw that picture. Now she said, now you draw one. And so I drew one, and I have both of those pictures today. I have the one that my mother drew, and then of course it was far outdid mine, and I have the one that I drew. So I cherish that drawing, and that's probably the oldest thing that I have. And funny that that would be a question, because I happen to have this pillow. And of all the moving that I do, and I do move frequently. In the past, it's been because of the job, but I have a lot of things in storage. But somehow this pillow, I made this my last year in high school, my first year in college. And I won't tell you how many years ago that was, but it was made out of scrap material, scraps that my mother had. I really did not have a burning interest in fabric or sewing or anything of that. I did do art when I was in high school, but this pillow has traveled with me over my entire adult life. So, and I keep it on the chair that I'm sitting in here, which happens to be a chair that belonged to my mother, by the way. So I keep it in the corner of my dining room. And by the way, have you noticed Mrs. Wilkins sitting here beside me? Mrs. Wilkins was my high school art teacher, and she's really my inspiration, my my mentor when I was in high school. And if you listen to my introductory video, you'll hear the story of that in very unrelaxed, probably something like this video is, unrelaxed a tone of voice. But anyway, this is Mrs. Wilkins. This is an antique dress form. I have this piano scarf, this silk piano scarf. It's really pretty. I think I paid about $60 or $70 for this piano scarf. It's got huge long fringe on it. And then I have this hat. And it was so funny, when I sat down, that hat fell down. And it was like she was saying, "You wear this hat." And I said, "No, Mrs. Wilkins, you have to wear it. It's your hat. It doesn't fit my head." And then I have a scarf tied around here, and every now and then I'll put a belt on her, and I have a crocheted apron on behind her. So Mrs. Wilkins was, in real life, my high school art teacher, and now she's she's my main primary studio mascot. The other studio mascot I brought in here, you've all met Penelope Rose. So this is my other, I don't know how much you can see her. She's my other studio mascot. I keep her on my work table because I'm constantly reaching for a straight pin or needle or something like that. So, yes, I would have to say, getting back to the question, that the drawing of those barns is the oldest piece of artwork that I still have that I made. See, I told you. I spent almost 10 minutes on the first 3 questions. So now you all see my face. I have more to say about that later. Part 2 will be a little bit longer, even the edited version, but once I begin talking, I seem to have a lot to say. Look and listen at your own leisure. Part 2 will be uploaded in the next video.